LG introduced its next generation of Gram-branded ultra-thin laptops in February of 2017. They aim to bring the thin and light form factor to the next level by offering LG's lightest designs yet. The latest refresh spans 6 models in 3 screen sizes weighing between 2.07 pounds to 2.40 pounds. On top of that, the refresh promises high performance backed by a long battery life. Our LG Gram review unit, the 15Z970 model, packed a 7th generation Intel Core i7-7500U processor, 16GB of system memory, DDR4, a 512GB solid-state drive, and a touch-enabled 15.6-inch display with a 1920 by 1080 resolution. All of this is backed by a 60-watt-hour battery promising up to 12.5 hours of uptime. The price? A hefty $1,600, making it the most expensive and powerful LG Gram in the new 2017 batch. Ultra slim on an entirely new level. Let's not beat around the bush here, the LG Gram is incredibly thin and light. It's about as heavy as your typical ceramic dinner plate, with its weight equally distributed throughout the device, instead of the weight mostly residing in the battery area. Its overall dimensions are 14.1 by 9.0 by 0.6 inches, which is on par with the competition, but not remarkably svelte. While the laptop sports a clamshell form factor, the screen can bend back up to 150 degrees, enabling you to easily share the on-screen content. Adding to this factor is the use of a panel based on in-plane switching, IPS, technology that's known for its rich colors and wide viewing angles. The laptop boasts a dark silver magnesium alloy body. The lid is highly polished, while the bottom sports a fine metallic carbon fiber-like finish, as does the keyboard area. The rounded hinge connecting the display to the laptop body measures roughly around 0.50 inches in diameter, which plays host to the built-in 1MP webcam and microphones. Yes, that means you'll have to deal with the dreaded up-the-nose camera angle. Of course, because this laptop is so thin and light, it may not be the ideal computing solution for students. It honestly feels like a toy, despite the fact it is built from durable materials. The LG Gram is ideal for controlled environments like the home office, airplane trips, business meetings, and so on, where having a super thin and super light device is necessary. Packs plenty of ports despite a super slim design. Despite its thinness, the LG Gram 15 provides several outputs for peripherals and video. On the left side, users will find the power connector, one USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type-A port, one HDMI port, one USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type-C port, and 2 LEDs for power, battery and storage access. One note about the power connection. It felt wobbly and frail, and during our testing the slightest movement of the laptop caused the plug to unseat and push the device onto battery power. We recall this same issue occurring with LG's previous model of Gram. We'd like to see LG switch to a different connector, or just use USB Type-C. On the right side of the laptop, users will find a micro SD card slot, one headphone jack, one USB 3.1 Gen 1 Type-A port, and one USB 2.0 Type-A port. Notice that this laptop doesn't include an Ethernet port for wired networking. That's because LG is routing the connectivity through the Type-C port, and provides a Type-C to Ethernet adapter in the box. Unfortunately, this arrangement's speed is capped at 100 megabits per second, Mbps, rather than the normal Ethernet maximum of 1 gigabit per second. Those seeking a fast network connection will need to switch over to the laptop's wireless AC component, supporting wireless speeds of up to 867 Mbps. That means it has 2 internal outgoing antennas and 2 incoming antennas, 2 times 2, locking it to 867 Mbps even if the laptop is connected to a 3x3 or 4x4 router. This component also supports MU-MIMO technology, and includes Bluetooth 4.2 connectivity. The Gram 15 Z970 will light up your life. As for manual input, the touchpad is just over 4 inches wide and under 3 inches deep. It features a glassy smooth surface and 2 seemingly invisible mouse buttons. It felt extremely precise in our testing, as the slightest touch gracefully moved the cursor across the screen. Unfortunately, there's no indication that it's Windows Precision Touchpad compatible, which means it lacks support for every multi-touch gesture available to Windows 10. Yet we have no complaints about its responsiveness, or a lack thereof. Moving up, each squared keyboard key is lit with a white LED underneath. The backlighting is activated, deactivated by pressing Fn plus F8, which also provides 2 brightness levels. This backlighting provides just enough brightness to barely illuminate the fonts and keyboarders so they're easier to find in any lighting condition. It's not extraordinarily bright in normal office use, but does provide great illumination in low light scenarios. Each key, when touched and pressed, feels rather firm in its place. The keys are responsive, so it doesn't take too firm press to input a letter. The keyboard layout itself feels wide enough to not cause any input issues unless you're a professional wrestler. The LG Gram 15 Z970 also includes a touchscreen. Using Paint, we verified that it accurately tracks 10 simultaneous inputs, making this laptop fun when drawing with fingers directly on the screen. Still, because the LG Gram is a clamshell laptop, this feature seems somewhat unnecessary, pushing users to reach across the keyboard rather than use the built-in touchpad. The biggest selling point is the screen. The LG Gram comes with a 15.6-inch 1080p panel. While respectable, that resolution won't turn heads in 2017. Of course, the quality also depends on the color spaces the panel supports, and how much. In the case of the LG Gram laptop, we discovered that the panel supports 81% of the sRGB color space and 60% of the Adobe RGB color space. It also has an average color accuracy of 1.58, making it slightly better than the HP EliteBook X360 G2, but nowhere near as accurate as the most recent MacBook Pro 15 with the cool touch bar. Screen brightness came in at 302 nits, which is average for laptops with IPS screens. That means the screen is tolerable outside on an overcast day, but reading bright pages and documents may become visually annoying. In a normal office environment, the screen is extremely clear, with deep blacks and brilliant, rich colors. The screen has a contrast ratio of 830:1, which puts it between the latest MacBook Pro 15 and the Asus ZenBook UX330i. The display provides wide viewing angles, meaning no matter the position of your head relative to the screen, the image doesn't wash out. Despite its mundane resolution, we were pleased by the LG Gram's overall display quality. Its solid color accuracy, good contrast, and reasonable maximum brightness meld together for a pleasant experience in movies and games. The screen doesn't stand out in any one area, but it also lacks any serious weakness. Thin laptop, thin speakers. Of course, with a great screen, you need great audio to fully enjoy your media. The laptop includes 2 1-watt speakers, which are mostly invisible. The quality of the sound is very treble dependent, so you won't hear high levels of bass. Lots of horses under that super thin hood. As previously stated, the meat of this new LG Gram laptop is the Intel Core i7-7500U processor. It's a 2-core chip with a base speed of 2.7 GHz and a boost speed of 3.5 GHz. In a single-core test, the laptop scored 4,253 points in Geekbench 4.